Every time the man fought, he had to remove his wrist guards, each weighing over 1,000 pounds, which would instantly crack the floor beneath him. Someone nearby once tried to lift them and almost broke their arm from the sheer weight. But a reckless mercenary charged at the man and punched him in the stomach, only to break his own hand. As it turned out, the man was also wearing a chain-mail armor weighing over 800 pounds. Now that he had removed all his gear, he could finally unleash his full power. With just 2 fingers, he caught an incoming dagger. This man was none other than the fearsome Dragon King, whose name struck fear across the lands. One day, the world's top armed organization kidnapped 7 academicians from the Dragon Nation, including one of their daughters. They demanded Dragon Nation hand over operational rights to the new harbor. The man came as the national envoy to negotiate, but the enemy didn't realize he was someone they could not afford to provoke. The man simply told them, "Get out of Dragon Nation, or face the consequences." But the other side didn't take the threat seriously, thinking they were one of the world's top 3 strongest forces. However, to this man, they were no better than ants. This completely enraged the enemy. He tried to attack the man, only to be beaten by him to the brink of death. The remaining attackers tried to use the kidnapped girl as a hostage, but in the next second, the man used a single dagger to pierce through 4 of them, so sharp that it even sliced off the ropes tying the woman. At that moment, the woman realized her father and the other scholars hadn't yet been rescued, but the man had already arranged for their rescue. Before anyone could thank him, he quietly left. Because today, his wife was returning from overseas, and he was eager to confess his true identity to her and make her the happiest woman in the world. However, he didn't know that his wife was 8 months pregnant staying abroad for a year. But when he saw his wife, pregnant with an 8-month belly after just a year abroad, his whole world crumbled. He immediately demanded to know what was going on. Just then, a nearby mercenary stepped forward and arrogantly said, "She now belongs to the god of war." His wife told him that he is not worthy of her, or knowing the name of her child's father. Those words broke the man's heart. Then, the wife shamelessly gave him 3 conditions if he wanted to stay in her life. She stated that the first condition that he will have to raise the child after it's born because her boyfriend is a very busy man. Secondly, he will have to unconditionally hand over his company to her boyfriend, as he has just returned from abroad, and he needs a qualified security company for his work. Thirdly, she asked him to hand over his overseas estate as her boyfriend wants to use it as a military base. She asks him to sign the property's papers. These absurd demands pushed the man over the edge. He declared he would beat his wife and her boyfriend to death. The mercenaries tried to protect the wife, saying they were sent by the god of war himself. Seeing the man so arrogant, they prepared to teach him a lesson. At that moment, the man's butler stepped forward and said, "There's no need for my young master to get his hands dirty." But the butler was no match for the mercenaries. So, the man decided to act himself. But seeing his pretty boy face, the mercenaries looked down on him and told a subordinate to deal with him. The subordinate punched him, but his arm broke as the man blocked the attack. The subordinate pointed out that this guy is hiding something on his arms. They asked him to take it off and fight again. The man slowly removed his wrist guards, and they crashed to the floor, leaving a huge crater. The thugs thought they could definitely crush him now. So, another mercenary attacked in the gut, but this broke his arm as well. They realized that he was hiding something there as well, so the mercenary told him to take off everything and fight fairly if he has the guts. The butler explained that the young master's gear weighs over 800 pounds. With it on, he only uses 30% of his power. If he removes it, they won't even be able to handle 1 finger of his.